Unfortunately, its true purpose is something much more entertainers and celebrities, by virtually every metric imaginable, this planet is in very good health. It is no secret that the tech giants are very selective in their editorial decisions. Last week, my video was taken down because I had the audacity to question the official narrative about the China virus vaccine. I re-uploaded the video and the new version is available to watch, so be sure to check it out once you are done here. By the way, you should follow me on BitChute in case my channel gets taken down. Now, channels like mine have been talking about this censorship until we are blue in the face. And the only thing that will change it is amending the Communications Decency Act, and that is an uphill battle. However, I want to illustrate just how biased these tech giants are. While anything criticizing the virus is not allowed, hashtag Fuego al Clero, meaning fire to the clergy, was allowed to trend in Spain. Something tells me that a call for violence against any group would violate Twitter's terms and services, but not this one. I ask this in all seriousness. What is next? While people like me have our videos taken down, Candace Owens is taking a stand. Like Nick Sandman, she took legal action after her name was besmirched. Miss Owens posted a video stating the fact that Joe Biden is not yet president-elect. Such a fact should be obvious to anyone who took a basic course in civics, but I digress. PolitiFact disagreed with her statement and labeled it as false on Facebook. She decided to take legal action and they reversed their decision. Obviously, I do not have a team of lawyers to correct problems like this one, but I am glad that people are standing up. If more people like Owens stood up against these fact-checkers, they might just be out of a job. Meanwhile, President Trump is doubling down on removing their protections. It is no secret that this pandemic has not only run its course, but has been blown completely out of proportion. The worst part is that the same people that are making the rules do not have to follow them. Enter Robbie De Niro, a former Marine and a gym owner that was fined for having a sit-in protest at his establishment because he still could not open. Recall that government gyms were allowed to open. He was given a $15,000 fine for hosting the protest, and he ripped it apart on national television.
He's getting a lot of attention. We thank you for your service, and we'll continue to watch where this story goes. Thanks for joining us tonight.
How many families have been left without food because they could not go to work? Suicide rates and depression have gone through the roof. Yet, the Democrats refuse to pass an aid package and refuse to let businesses open back up, such as Governor Cuomo, who decided that he would shut down synagogues and Catholic churches over the virus. In a 5-4 decision, the Supreme Court ruled that this was unconstitutional and flat out immoral. Speaking of the Supreme Court, the United States Census is designed to allocate funding and seats. But as I have mentioned before, its true purpose is something much more sinister. President Trump is trying to remove illegal aliens from the census. If successful, this would be one of the single biggest blows to the Democratic Party since Republicans freed their slaves. Illegal aliens come to this country on the promise of lots of free stuff from the Democrats that they will get without having to pay taxes. As such, if they are removed, Democrats stand to lose a lot of power in the House. This could potentially overturn the results of the census and change so much. Granted, it will be a while before the census is taken again, and even if President Trump is successful, the decision can still be retroactively overturned. While even Barrett was skeptical, I eagerly await the results. The China virus has a 99.997% survival rate. Malaria is much more deadly. As such, more people in sub-Saharan Africa have died of malaria than this flu variant. However, the countries affected did not shut down their entire economy over this. They took reasonable precautions and went on with their lives. According to WHO, the death toll from this mosquito-borne illness has claimed more lives than the China virus. Yet, our economy is still shut down. Fauci is even admitting what Trump has been saying all along, that kids need to be back in school. The number of failing grades has been up because teachers cannot give individualized attention, and high school kids have to work longer hours because their families are still struggling. We should not have trusted the CDC or WHO, because both just repeated talking points from the Chinese Communist Party. The young creationist Matt Powell has released his newest movie, The Atheist Religion. Here is a sample.
Because that's what the Big Bang Theory is. They just believe that one day, all the matter in the universe was just shrunken up into a little dot, and that this is before time and space is what they say too. I don't know how you could have anything happen before time and space, because time is what makes things go, you know? But they say that it expanded. It was the size of just a little dot, and then it expanded rapidly throughout the entire universe. That's what they believe. It just magically exploded for no reason. They can't tell you how that matter got there in the first place, which is actually the important question. Not about, I don't want to hear about how it exploded. I want to hear how it got there in the first place. They can't answer that, though, because they have to appeal to God for that.
Atheism is a religion, since its core tenet, evolution, is based entirely in faith and has no science to back it up. I highly suggest you watch it. While I do have some creative disagreements, only a fool would deny that he uses facts that the evolutionists do not want you to hear, because it undermines everything that they teach. He is in my same demographic, and I hope that he does well and cannot wait for his next work. The United States Postal Service endorsed Joe Biden for president, meaning that the same people who would be collecting all of the mail-in ballots have already placed their support behind a candidate. I would bet dollars to donuts that all of the ballots that they backdated to be counted were for Biden. Now we know that the post office threw out and tampered with ballots as well. Want to guess which ones were tampered with? One fact in all of this is crystal clear. This election was stolen from the very beginning, and if we do not stand up now, we will never have a fair election ever again. I did not want to mention this story, since a broken foot has nothing to do with anything. Biden spent the entire campaign season hiding out in his basement, and is coming out now that he won the election. The Democrats certainly did not want any more gaffes like. And
But if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
now he has a broken foot. But as you can see, it may very well just be an act to gain sympathy. People respond faster to emotion than facts. Joe Biden pledged to urge his supporters to remain calm until all of the votes were independently verified.
Will you urge your supporters to stay calm while the vote is counted, and will you pledge not to declare victory until the election is independently certified?
Yes.
He has since fallen through on this promise. In Georgia, there are reports that the same signature was found on multiple ballots because the signatures were not verified. In some cases, the envelopes were thrown away. Obama would be aghast.
Oregon, for example, has a terrific mail-in system, but they've already scanned everybody's signatures who's registered to vote so that they can check to make sure that, in fact, the right people are voting. And that's something that I think you'd have to figure out.
Governor Kemp has called for a verification of all signatures, but the Secretary of State has refused to do so. This is without mentioning the suitcases of ballots that were counted after the poll watchers left.
At 8 o'clock in the morning, we're going to roll this back and show it to you. There you go. So now they're going to start pulling these ballots out from under this table. This table, the black one, was placed there by the lady with the blonde braids at about 8:22 a.m. in the morning. So she put that table there. So the same person who's staying behind now, the same person who cleared the place out under the pretense that we're going to stop counting, is the person who put the table there at 8:22 in the morning.
Georgia is not the only state with problems. Nevada has had many irregularities, such as dead voters and voters from out of state. Both campaigns are inspecting the site of the recount. In Pennsylvania, USB sticks and other records were moved while there was no one to observe the process. At least 47 USB sticks are missing. There's no word yet on whether or not legal action will be taken. In Arizona, Giuliani has condemned GOP lawmakers for not taking a stronger stance, as have their constituents. In Michigan, a poll worker coached someone on voting straight Democrat, and another described that a machine recorded votes for Biden thousands of times from one ballot before the House Oversight Committee. The vast majority of these problems just happen to be in Democrat-controlled cities. All this goes without mentioning the problems with Dominion voting. Remember that this system was designed to ensure victory for Maduro in Venezuela. Maybe I'm just blowing smoke. Maybe I'm completely off my rocker, but that is just my opinion.